guys, Beth from Anytime Fitness in Boston. We had a request to put together a workout for some of our seniors that we could put on our social media channels, provide some virtual workouts to our senior folks. So we put this together. I hope you enjoy it. So we're gonna start out by using a chair. So just come down into your seat, feet hips distance apart, and we're just gonna do a simple chair squat. So it's really important to be able to get up off of your chair as we get older. So you can start by putting your hands on your thighs, begin to engage your core, lean forward, and gently come up. So a couple options for you. If you have like an armchair, you can press on back of the armchair. If you have a countertop in front of you, put your hands on the counter and use that to get you up. So obviously our goal is to get back to no assistance here and just gently getting up, but we may need to progress ourselves there. So if you need to use that countertop or the armchair, use that to start with the thought of you're gonna progress and eventually you wanna get to being self-sustaining to lift up. So our second exercise is gonna move to a little bit more of a wider squat. So your feet are about hips distance apart. And depending on where you're at, you can start doing this with just your own body weight. If you want a little bit more, any sort of weight that you might have, doesn't have to be a kettlebell, dumbbell, it could be a water jug, a laundry jug, anything that you have to give yourself a little extra weight. Just want to try and hold it close into the body. We don't want to be carrying it out here. That's going to put a lot more pressure on the shoulders and make you a lot more unstable. So keep that tucked into the body. And then we're just going to gently begin to bend at the knees, keep the chest lifted, and come down. So your goal is eventually going to get down, 90 degrees or so, but again, that's just a progression. So just see where you are. If you're only coming down a few inches, ground the feet into the floor, come back up, squeeze the glutes. So from the side view, hinging back at the hips. Again, my chest is staying lifted. I'm not folding forward here. I'm keeping my chest nice and lifted, coming down, toes directing out, or knees directing out over my toes. Come back up, little squeeze. And toes here, you want your toes mostly directing forward. So straight out in front of me. So maybe working up to about 10 of these. And then you can set your weight to the side. So our next exercise, we're going to take a light weight. This could even be a really light yoga weight to start. So just depending on where you want to start. So we're going to have our feet hips distance apart. Just a little bit of bend in the knees so the knees are not locked. And then we're going to take our weight or a block in front of us. And we're just going to go from our right hip. And we're going to swing this up and around about the forehead height and back to the other hip, opposite hip. And then take it over to the right and back to the right hip. And then circle left. So just switching directions here. Nice little bend in the knees, core is nice and firm. If you need to switch your weight down to a lower weight, feel free. Just make whatever adjustments you need. All right, so our next exercise is going to be a single leg reach. So you may want to have a chair again or a countertop handy. So if you're using the chair or countertop, face your chair. And we're gonna let's start on our left leg. So a little bend in that left knee, and then you're gonna start to take that right foot. Let's just start by taking the toe behind. And then you're gonna begin to hinge forward. So you may wanna grab the chair, the countertop here, and use that to hinge yourself forward. You can bend the standing leg, and then come back up. And then again, take it back down, and back up. And if this is too much, just slide the foot back on the floor if you're feeling unstable and you want to keep that leg. It's still nice little glute work out there on that left leg. If you don't need the chair, just step away. And we're coming down. We're trying not to hike the hip up and open the hips here. So imagine the hips staying kind of level towards the floor as you come down and up. And then taking that to the other side again, maybe starting with that chair, see where you're at. Strengthen through that left leg, a little bend in that knee, and then maybe you're just sliding the toe back on the floor, coming back up. Or maybe you begin to lift that toe up, maybe you're coming a little bit more forward, seeing where you want to work. Again, if you don't need that chair, back away. And take this at your own pace. There's no need to rush. See, even I lost my balance there a little bit. I can't talk and balance at the same time. Really just ground through that foot, concentrate on the floor. And back up. So again, maybe working up to about 10 on each side, just seeing where you are and progress from there. So now we're going to move to a supported row, get a little work on the arms here. So for support, finding a chair or a bench, something that you can lean on. So we're going to come down, we're going to put our right knee and right hand on the chair. So we've got some support here. And then just let your left arm hang down with the weight in the arm here. And then we're going to pull that weight up towards the armpit. You're leading with the elbow there when it goes up to the sky, and then lower it back down. So raise it up towards the ribs, up towards the armpit, and gently take it back down. Just try not to use momentum in either direction here, up or down. Especially there's always that tension or folks like to let the tension go on the way down. I want to keep it going in both directions. So taking about 10 on each side. I think that was only about 5 for me, but I just want to show you guys each side here. So again, switch to the other side of your bench. Come down with the right hand. Little bend in that right knee. And then draw that weight up. Again, I'm leading with my elbow up towards the ceiling. Hopefully you can see that even though I'm wearing all black. Sorry, but it's really cold in here. So I'm bundled up. Gently, slowly let the weight go. Pull it up. Again, if you don't have weights around, little water bottles, little jugs, little cans of peas, whatever you have handy, be creative. And again, get about 10 in on each side. And then when you're ready, gently coming up. All right, we're gonna do one more exercise from standing. So we're gonna take a little bit of a split squat here, or split stance, excuse me. So I've got some distance between my feet left to right, so they're not kind of stacked right in front of each other, but nice and stable here. And again, maybe just a little light weight in the hands. I'm gonna, if you have a dumbbell, maybe taking both bells of the dumbbell in your hand, and just light bend in the knees here. We're just gonna do a little bit of a chop. So rotation again. We're gonna take that weight down. So I've got my right foot in front. So I'm gonna take the weight to the back leg to my left. I'm gonna bring it in towards my chest, and then I'm gonna press it out a little bit of a twist overhead, and then bring it back in and down. So again, watch how heavy of a weight you want here. Make whatever adjustments you need. Just make sure you're nice and stable here in this stance as you're rotating. If you like, do this near a wall, but not too close to it so you don't put a dumbbell through your wall. And as always, take it at your own pace. So again, about 10 of these, and then switch feet. So now taking our left foot forward, a little bit of bend at the knees, making sure you have just space left to right, and then taking that dumbbell down to the back leg, in this case my right side, and then bringing it up through the chest, and press it overhead, a little bit of a twist here. And then again, it's about 10 on each side. So when you've reached 10, come back to the center and you can let your weight go. So now if you're comfortable going down to the floor, we're going to take it down. Move my mat a little bit forward here. And just gently coming down onto your belly, you're going to do a little bit of strengthening on the back. So start by extending both arms straight out in front of you on the floor. If your elbow's a little bent, depending on your shoulder mobility, that's totally fine. And just let your face, your neck's in a neutral position, and your face is looking obviously towards the mat. And then we're just going to do some swimmers here. So you can start by just inhaling, lifting your right leg just a few inches off the floor and down. And inhale, left leg and down. So our hips are still nice and even here as we switch from side to side. Shouldn't be a lot of hip shifting up or down. Your hips are still kind of level. And if you're comfortable here, lifting each foot independently, you can add the arms. So as you inhale the right leg, you can lift the left arm, opposite arm, and down. Inhale, left leg, right arm, and down. Switch, inhale, exhale down, inhale, exhale down. So again, it doesn't have to be a huge lift with those legs or the arm, just a few inches off the ground. Whatever your range of motion is, that's where you're working. If it doesn't feel good to have your shoulders outstretched, you can bring your shoulders, bend your elbows, bring the arms back in towards the body and just work with the legs. Another option here is to kind of have cactus arms on the floor. Maybe let the feet stay where they are. Press the pelvis into the ground and inhale, just float the upper body up. Again, just a few inches. Neck remains nice and long. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, float the arms. And exhale, lower. And one more time, lift. And lower. And then to get back up, gently taking the hands underneath the shoulders, press up and back through your knees, come back into kneeling, and then make your way back up. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions or need any additional modifications, please let us know. We're happy to help. I hope you're staying well and staying safe. Thank you.